What's the crack, lads? Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we are going to be talking about the eFootball 2026 meta, why all the top rank are using it, why it's so effective, and of course showing you the setup, the tactics, and a couple of secrets as well to get the most out of this. Let's get straight into it. The eFootball 2026 meta, right? It's a very standard 4-2-1-3. Where this comes into its own and why it's so effective is the players that you have as your starting 11. The positionings that they have, there's a very specific way to set them up, which I'm going to show you. And also with Gasperini, which is the main cog in this meta wheel, which a lot of people are still using, you have a dual proficiency manager that can go quick counter and long ball counter, depending on whether you're winning a game or you're chasing a game. You can absolutely destroy people with this in the first 20 minutes and then just sit back and shut up shop. So with this Gasperini card that we're going to be using, or this manager card, we have got a very standard 4-2-1-3. Now, of course, the main pinpoint of this and the main why people use this, lads, right? And I'll show you on screen the amount of people that are using this, okay? Pretty much 90% of the top 20 are using this. The main reason they're using it is because you've got a back five, essentially, and an attacking five. And this is kind of a couple of little bits and pieces that you can alter yourself. Obviously, if you've got Pele, Eto'o, and Messi, you should be carving out a couple of chances strictly because you've got such beastly players. But your back four are probably the main one, with your DMF, Vieira. So with this setup here, very, very simply, we have got literally all our defenders, right? We've got every single defender back here, apart from our build-up Frank Rijkaard, who's going to be the orchestrator, or he's going to be the captain. He's going to be the main man that just organizes everything. Once you have a build-up, there's a lot of build-ups in the game. You've got, Piqué, you've got Van Dijk. You might have a better build-up than me, but I think this Rijkaard is very underrated, even though he's 105 overall. I hear people talk crazy about him. But he's the only centre-back that we have of our back four that doesn't have 90-plus speed. But he still has that threshold of 85, which is the threshold for all the players now that are non-destroyer or non-defensive fullbacks. So you will see here, destroyer, 90, a Cannavaro with a destroyer, 90 speed, and Thuram with defensive fullback, 94. We also have our fifth centre-back, essentially, in Patrick Vieira as an anchorman. Now, there's one key tip I will leave out of this, or I will talk about, that you should leave out, right, of the previous meta. It hasn't changed too much. But what you're going to want to do is, with your individual instructions here, you're going to want to set defensive to your left and right back. Even though we're playing Thuram as a CB, we don't want him actually bombing forward at all. Even if you're tracking a winger, which the players automatically do in the game now, they're a little bit more passive, but they do track better, which is kind of, confusing a lot of people with their attack patterns. Defensive on our left and right back, Araujo, Thuram, whoever you want to play there. And then what we're going to do with this is a counter target on Eto'o. We want one of our strikers to be up as an outlet all the time. Now, if you want Hullet, if you want a target man or a fox in the box, Drogba, somebody to win the ball, you can do that. But these three players are probably the meta, and most of the top 10 are using these three guys up front now. Maybe throw in Mbappe, maybe throw in the new Eto'o, maybe Rummy, but essentially that's it. That's pretty much it for the setup here with the first one. Obviously, we're going to be playing long ball counter. This is because we want to, when we're starting out, we want to be as deep as we possibly can when defending and when we lose the ball. 90% of goals you're going to concede is going to be when you lose the ball in possession, or when you're dribbling, or when you're trying to pass the ball. So you get caught in the break and then it's boom, it's game over, because the game has increased in speed when the players have the ball at their feet now compared to before. There isn't as much catch-up. But I do think that where this formation comes into its own is with the sub-tactic. I still see people use this sub-tactic wrong and not use it at the right time. A sub-tactic should only be switched on if you're, it should be set up as a plan B. You shouldn't be switching. I see people switching the whole time and they're 3-0 down and they're still switching sub-tactic. It's probably too late at that stage, right? The idea behind this is you've got a dual setup, right? You don't need to switch off this if you're ever losing a game. If you're chasing, you go down 1-0, you never need to switch to your sub-tactic. You can go in and you can press pause and go into your game plan and switch things. This secondary sub-tactic is the second meta in the game. A lot of the top rank are using this. Of course, former rank 1 and world champion Jansui is looking to use this the whole time with the 5 at the back. But just because you're playing a 5 at the back does not mean that you are very, 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 anti-football. You're creating a lot of overlaps, a lot of manual space with touches and goals. So that's kind of essentially where it comes into its own. Now, there is a couple of tricks with setting up the formations here. The first one is obviously to have a staggered centre-half partnership between Cannavaro and Rijkaard or whoever you choose, and to have your left back, your right back, and your middle centre-back, which we've brought back Vieira from a DMF position. You can play anybody you want here that can play a dual role, CB and DMF. Vieira is going to come back and he's going to be staggered. So Cannavaro and Rijkaard are going to mop up behind Vieira. You don't want to be too deep when you're playing with quick counter, because that's what we're going to switch with Gasperini. That's why you see a lot of people still using Gasperini. Yes, people are using Inzaghi. Yes, people are using Rijkaard. But quick counter and long ball counter, Gasperini is the daddy for these two. Obviously, Inzaghi's thereabouts as well. But Gasperini was obviously an older manager if you've been playing for a while. And also the trick with this is to have two centre forwards right in line with Pavel Nedved, on Mateus in line with Eto'o, and then Messi as his own outlier. But you will notice that every player is in a row. It's literally a straight line. The reason for this, which a lot of people miss out on, is when you're playing quick counter, and this is very important, the players dash towards the opponent's goal, as you see here. They literally, the minute you get the ball, the players run in a straight line. They don't stagger the run. It overrides Fox in the box goal poacher with them holding their line. So a lot of the time, if you're not used to playing quick counter, you'll be like, why is he making that run? Why is he doing this? It's because they literally just go in one mode. It's like they're on a treadmill. They're going in one direction all the time, right? So that's kind of what you need to do. However, the weakness of this is why you're playing the 5 at the back, and a lot of people frown on 5 at the back, but it is the meta at the moment. I mean, I don't play it, but it is the meta. Like this setup is a tactical like nightmare for anybody. Is because with quick counter, defensively, your line is super, super high. That is the same with out wide. You also have a very high line when you're defending with this, but quick counter is even higher up the pitch. So you are going to get caught, so you do need that extra man back. The rest of the things here we have is individual instructions. This is very important. When you're playing with a quick counter, you need to have attacking on Nedved because you want to be defending. You already have your 5 defenders. Mateus is going to mop up midfield, and then you're going to be attacking with Eto'o, Pele, Messi, and Nedved. Obviously, you can put in whatever player you want here that you have. Anchoring on Pele, we don't want Pele going left or right. We want him staying in the middle, and then Eto'o can be the counter target, or else Nedved can be the counter target with attacking. And that's pretty much the meta. I will throw in a couple of clips here throughout the video and show you exactly what way this works and how it's so effective and why the meta is so effective. The reason for Messi being in the position he's in here, or for Messi to come into a central role, or for Nedved, is for the pretty much broken meta over the top through balls at the moment. Will they patch them? Probably. It's very, very broken at the moment that you can just put these balls in and the players become a little bit kind of stuck in the ground. I will throw you a couple of clips throughout this video. But that's pretty much the setup, lads, of the anti-meta, or the meta versus anti-meta. It's always going to be a conversation. But let me know what you guys think of this. I will chat to you later. Don't forget to subscribe. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you're playing meta or not.